Welcome back to Let's Go Boating. This is actually our second podcast, and I'm really excited today to have a fourth generation member of the Pillsbury boating legacy online with us, grandson Tyler Pillsbury, and he is on the 125-foot Westport known as Serenity. And they are on their way back from Maine, heading back to West Palm Beach. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, where are you?
Currently on our way to Charleston.
Well, sounds like a good deal, and I know over the weekend you were all the way up in Maine and then came down to Rhode Island and whatnot. Where did you start?
Started in West Palm, went to Charleston, Southport, Beaufort, Ocean City, New York, Manhattan. It's kind of a blur at this point. Been everywhere.
Any idea how many hours that is on the boat, or how many miles, or anything along that line?
I think it's got to be close to 2,000 miles.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. You know, last show with Kyle, we talked about your great-grandfather, my dad, Frank III, that started in New Jersey selling small Grumman aluminum boats with Mercury outboards and whatnot. And here you are. It ended up not too far from where he started in the business and where his grandfather was in the shipbuilding business and whatnot. And, wow, to be on a boat and all those miles, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely was an experience.
Well, and I know you've got a boat behind you as well, and you've been running it off and on depending on kind of where you guys are. And what are you towing?
39 Bertram with
Wow.
Trick 400 Mercs.
That's amazing. And again, last night I think you told me that you were running the boat between your stops. And where were you last night?
We were going from Coinjack to Beaufort.
And you drove the Bertram in that sense just because it was easier on the inside rather than towing it?
Yeah, correct. It just gets real skinny. A lot
Okay.
of boats got to slow down for bridges and all that.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about your trip and some of that stuff going on, but right now I want to kind of drill into family and boating and that kind of stuff. And again, by choice or not, you were born into this family that's now 4 generations in the boating world. And what was it like growing up with, the family, myself, your 2 uncles, Skipper and Kyle, and grandfather, Da, around boats, boating, and that kind of thing?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, going to Daw's house in the summers and hanging out on the boats there, going to your early morning events on Lake Minnetonka and walleye opener. Boating was just kind of always a topic of conversation and on the mind.
Well, and it was fun because literally as a baby, you started out going, with your mom and with Nisa and I on some of the boats, wearing your life jacket and starting to really enjoy that lifestyle. And I remember a couple you mentioned, like the Governor's Fishing Opener, where we were out walleye fishing, and then a couple of times in the Ranger where we were out bass fishing. And I think we had on Lake Minnetonka, there was a place, didn't we have an alligator alley or something that we used to run that boat through?
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, anyway, and so what was one of your favorite childhood memories in those early years of boating, whether it be Minnesota, Texas, or whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be just going and doing those early morning events with you on Minnetonka. That was kind of foundational. Some of the earliest memories, but definitely Daw's house as well. I mean, big family get-togethers and fun weekends on the water.
Well, and rumor has it that maybe one of the other parts of the legacy that you're inheriting and enjoying as well is grilling and barbecuing.
Well, of course.
What's your favorite barbecue at this point?
Barbecue's got to be the brisket.
All right. Spoken true Texan on that. So,
oh, yeah.
So that's a cool deal. Well, as you got a little bit older, got out of high school, came and joined us here in Florida a few years ago, worked for a local company here, a yacht management company, and what kind of things did you learn in those early years besides wax on, wax off?
I mean, I guess that was kind of really where I cut my teeth, so to say. I mean, learned more about navigational stuff, just maintenance on a boat in general, but I mean, all things. And obviously through that job they offered maid services, so that's where I got to do some traveling and see the Bahamas and some stuff I hadn't seen before. So
pretty neat stuff. And then you started a little over a year ago over in Palm Beach with Nick on this boat. And what kind of activities, what kind of responsibilities, what kind of things are you learning there on Serenity?
Just, more in depth from what I had kind of just breached the surface on working at that management company.
Well, I know you've had times where you've talked to me about like having stabilizer issues or, things that you literally had to get into a closet or get into an area and figure out what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's a lot more in depth than passing it off to a subcontractor.
Well, and then the other side of it, like I know your Bahama trips and some of the other things, like with the Bertram, you also have the opportunity to rig up and do a little fishing and to kind of guide in that sense.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know how good I am at that, but we certainly try.
Well, that's why it's fishing, not catching, right?
Well, correct.
Well, so as we walk through this, what's a lesson from boating that you feel like applies to life in general? In other words, just kind of being out in the water, being around the boat. What plugs in for you to life?
Well, if you don't know, you better figure it out.
Because nobody else will, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And how do you think boating's kind of shaped your perspective on as you look at your career and you look at moving forward and some of that kind of thing?
Okay. I lost you for a second.
Yep, it's reconnecting. We good? Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'll pick back up on that question. So how do you think boating is helping to shape your perspective on working and leadership and some of those kinds of things?
It's something I love to do, so, it doesn't really feel like a job, so I guess, just kind of do what you love.
So passion is probably a key word.
Yeah, correct.
And that's, for me, that's one of those non-negotiables. What's something that you've learned in the past 18 months the hard way, being on the boat or being on a trip or pulling into a slip or working with anchors or any of that?
I don't know. I guess I kind of got thrown on this tender and had to kind of figure that out and figure out how to dock in tricky situations, whether it be tight spaces or current or whatever.
Well, and I know you had a strong victory. Not far, was it Beaufort where you pulled in and everybody thought you did an excellent job?
Yeah, same thing happened yesterday.
Okay, well, good.
Yep.
Well, so we touched on this a little bit, Tyler, but as we kind of move forward, and I know just like this podcast and us launching the stuff we're doing here with Let's Go Boating and the legacy and whatnot, what do you love most, or what do you really look forward to as we evolve the future of boating and being, again, fourth generation in this business?
I mean, I'm just excited about the future. See what it holds, and get some fifth generation in here at some point.
Right on. Well, again, you're on a beautiful boat there, Serenity, 125-foot boat, and got great equipment, and you're learning a lot from the captain. I know you're working on your captain's license here pretty soon and some other kinds of things, but is there any other boats that you've run or that you've worked on or whatnot that's absolutely your favorite rig?
I would say my favorite rig is definitely the Westport. Not only because it's a great boat, rides well, but the crew is awesome. Um, Other than that, I'd say that Hatteras, that 75 Hatteras, thing was a beast.
And that was that the one you took with Captain Jerry over to the Bahamas?
No, that was an Azimuth.
Okay.
You know how I feel about those.
That'd be nice, but anyway.
I like American built.
Well, speaking of, if money was no object, what boat would be yours?
92 Viking, no question.
Sport fisherman?
Oh yeah.
And where did you see one of those?
Oh, they're all over the place. I think we got a couple at our marina.
Okay, all right, because I know obviously they're very popular in around the Carolinas and the banks and stuff where you currently are. So that's kind of thing. Well,
Yeah.
what other things do you feel like that have happened for you in the last few years, being kind of as an adult in the boating business and being around not only the boats but docks and captains and owners and those kind of things? What are some of the other things that you've learned?
Just kind of working more with people and, navigating kind of those relationships and people's quirks.
Well, the other thing we'll down the line have to talk about some hunting. In fact, Trevor, who's one of our fellows here at the ship store that I was talking to earlier today, was talking about duck hunting. So I'll have to get you hooked up with him when you get back, and we'll start talking about some more duck hunting. But well, Tyler, one of the things I kind of like to do towards the end of the show here is some rapid fire questions. So we'll work on these real quick. So your favorite boating snack?
Corona Extra.
After work?
Well, of course.
Okay. And salt water or fresh water? I know you're in salt water right now, but if you had your choice.
I'd say saltwater just because it's so diverse. I mean, freshwater, there's a lot packed into a little place. Saltwater, there's kind of a lot to learn about it.
And music, playlist, what's on your playlist?
I normally just let the George Strait Pandora go.
So that's enough?
Yeah. Got a good variety with some Stapleton in there,
All right, sounds good. So, Tyler, if there was one place that you haven't boated yet, where is it that you'd love to boat?
Definitely Alaska.
Okay. And the North Sea, the Bering Sea?
Nah, I don't want to go out there.
Oh, you want to go inland in fresh water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, nah, it's still salty.
I'm just checking you out there. So, all right, so here's what we're going to call a legacy reflection. If your great grandkids hear this someday, what would you want them to know about boating and our family?
This is what we do. This is what we did.
That's cool. I like that. So, what are some final words you would give me in terms of what's next or what we need to be thinking about when it comes to boating or to the next adventure?
Oh, gosh. Just keep your eyes on the horizon. That's about all.
Okay, well, my way of looking at it is life is over the bow, not in the wake behind you. So we'll keep moving along with that one. So it looks like you're probably getting close to port. We're losing you a little bit here, cutting in and out. But Tyler, the last thing I just want to say is that really proud of you. The job you're doing there on Serenity and the trip that you've had. I look forward to more details and more information about that. Photos like the Statue of Liberty and great places up in Maine and the lobster tails that you've told me about already and whatnot. So we'll look forward to that. So again, this is an episode of our Let's Go Boating. Franklin Pillsbury here, and today we're broadcasting in Fort Myers, and thankfully right here at Marine Max, where our home base is, and just invite anybody and everybody to get out there and go boating. If you have any questions, just go to our website, send me a note or whatnot, and we'll help you get out on the water. It is, again, another episode of our Let's Go Boating.